Show us your tips. Daggy Beaver with you for a weekend preview. Hey, travelling, my friend.
Geez, I like that intro music, Daggy. That pumped me right up to give some tips here today.
Frothies. I know you never listened to it. That's the old Frothies opening intro. Unfortunately, we've lost Barney now.
Where is he? Where's he gone?
I don't know. We'll talk him back into it tomorrow. Chris has been trying to get us back, so I'm working on it. Chris, bringing back the Frothies, but we've had an indefinite delay with that one.
Oh, you need to maybe Cal.
I can bring Cal back.
Sub Cal into the Frothies.
Oh well, yeah, or Danon. I can get some. We might get some footy tips cranking again.
Yeah,
just for
maybe Beaver will make a guest appearance for you.
Let's not go too far, but we can.
You don't want to be shown up again.
I know. Not like last
once a week in racing's enough. You don't want to be shown up. In footy
You tip any 60-1 winners last week, Beaver?
Can't recall. No, I don't think I did. Did you?
Paul Credincionis won. Got out to 60s on Betfair.
Did you tip it on our show?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never mind. You don't listen to me anyway.
About time you've struck.
That was about it for the day, to be honest. But apart from that, it started pretty well. But it's tough going at the back end of last week. From memory, Beaver, how'd you fare?
Yeah, I think that's about right. I think it was a little bit of a tricky day. It wasn't what I was hoping for, to be honest.
No. We might leave it there and just move on, hey, and get stuck into the next part of the Brisbane Carnival at Eagle Farm tomorrow, where rain's coming this afternoon and tomorrow morning, from what I understand. Currently soft. I'm scared it's going to be heavy. The rail's in the true. Eagle Farm drain's all right, but maybe the last man standing towards the end of the afternoon. Any thoughts on how Eagle Farm can play when it's wet?
I think it can. It probably gets out to the middle of the track, and some of those horses can run on a bit. Just depends how wet it gets, I think, and how boggy it gets. I wouldn't be necessarily going to look for horses with too heavy a form just yet, but that may change on the day depending on what they get.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll kick off with a Class 6 over 1,600 metres, and an awful race starts us off, but I'll let you go first and talk about it.
Yeah, it is an awful... The first couple of races are awful, and some of these horses have similar form through the same form line, and I suspect anything can win these races. I'm going to go for Victory Win on top, just purely off the combination of Williams and Archibald. Been there or thereabouts, 1 or 3 starts back at Doomben. And hasn't been disgraced in its last couple of runs, not finishing far off them. Didn't seem to go that well last start, but I think any of these horses can turn it around pretty quickly. No confidence, but that's my pick.
Beautiful. I'm going to go with, as I hit record, video listeners here. Wait a second. There
Recording in progress.
Don't worry, you'll be kept up to date with the audio. Demon Darb on top, who I thought looked the obvious, gets a cosy enough run for Tommy Berry. Wasn't off. Hasn't been far off from all prep. Last time out was third behind Fukubana. I don't think quite saw out the 18, back to 16. A couple back. I think 16's its pet distance. It'll run well. Space Age will at least lead this field up, so it's next best for me.
I just can't take 240 in this field.
Yeah, I agree with that. I can't say I'll be, a bit like when we get to some of those Caulfield races, can't say I'll be stemming in over a distance. The 1,400 metre benchmark 78 comes up next, and I'm looking for a couple of forgive runs first up here. The first I'll mention is Redford, who chased Rockribbed, who just had a pretty much its own way up front and got away. Pulled up with cardiac arrhythmia, and from them they always seem to bounce back really well. It's $13. I'm going to spec it. Looking at the breeding, a Schnitzel out of a Kiwi mare should get through the wet all right. And I like to win some star first up. Soup to Duck was another one that just got away with the race. But it got bumped and bumped out of that race as it pulled to the outside first up, and I think it can improve. So I'm forgiving 2 runs. They're both, I think one's $5, one's about 13. I'll cover both of them. Next best, Fat Fingers for me. What are you looking at?
Yeah, another tricky race here. I'm going to go with Williams to ride. Taking the fresh form in what is a fairly open race, $6 the field, I think it can run well.
No, that's fair enough. Third up is the 2,400 metre Group 2 QE2 Cup. What are you looking at in the staying contest?
Yeah, look, I'm going for the favourite here in immediacy. I think it's the obvious choice here. It's got to carry the 59.5 here, but I think it's the clear on topper. Has good form lines for a race like this. Was scratched last start, but comes here after almost a month. Gets J-Max services. I think it's got the gun draw. It's going to get the right spot. It's going to be hardest to beat with its two main chances drawn wide. I think a horse like Dillian can run well. It's third up, won its first two up after a spell. It seems to be going well at the moment. So it could be a knockout horse at double figure odds, but immediacy for me.
I was the same. Immediacy on top. The 2,400 metres is the only query, but I don't think this horse has ever gone better. It gets J-Mac, gets Gate 1. It's going to be given every chance, and I think Dillian does have a new lease on life up there. And double figures, it'll handle the wet. Double figures looks a nice price. The only other two I'll mention, Flying Bandit is the absolute wet tracker in the field. Should it get bog heavy by this time, and Campbell-Dino will lead. They're the other two I'd consider for an early quaddie. But I'm in agreement with the Beaver. 1,800 metre Group 3 Lord Mayor's Cup comes up next, and I am going to go with another horse that I think is flying at the moment and should handle the conditions. That's Regal Asmon. I really liked its last two wins. It smashed Aaron Bay, who's a horse we know quite well, and some other decent horses. I know it was in Adelaide, but I think that just the horse is really flying and meets a field full of horses that aren't flying. The main danger, I don't think Rising Pacific is going to run if it gets wet. That was why I didn't consider it. But obviously, if it's here and it's ready to go, it is a live chance. Tabby Time next best. I thought was too short, and I don't know if it wants it super wet. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I've stuck with Tabby Time. I think you're right. It doesn't want it super wet, but its soft form's very good. It's had the 9 starts for 5 wins and 2 placings. So I think it was pretty impressive last start. It came from off the pace there and one going away from it at Scone. That was perfect for a lead into a race like this. And prior to that, was pretty good in the Hawkesbury Cup, only a couple of hanks behind Punch Lane, which would be very hard to beat in a race like this. Gets J-Mac, should get the right run from Gate 3. Maybe a bit skinny at 6-4, but probably...
It's getting out to the right price now, actually.
You might get 2-1, and I think it's the on top of here for me.
2-year-olds are up next. It's a Group 2 1,400 metres size produce stakes, $1 million race. What are you doing in this one?
Yeah, this was tricky because they all seem to be backing up again against each other. And I suspect, again, this field is so even and they're the young horses that you could run this multiple times and get a few different results. I'm going to stick with Beska. I tipped it last start.
Starting to test the friendship there. I know you've been with it pretty much every start.
Yeah, but it's only been
it's not far off.
Third up now. It hasn't been far off them, and I think there's improvement here from it. I think Gate 2 is perfect. It can get to where it wants to be in the run. So I've got it on top and hardest to beat. Graph Burners hasn't been afforded any favours, being drawn right off the track, so that's going to make it hard for it. Probably the favourite Gallo Nero is the main danger to Beska, I think. It was a good first up, and it'll take some natural improvement.
I'm going to stick with Grafter Burners. I tipped it first up. It was 4 wide the whole way, and still in the finish. I thought it was an amazing run. Unfortunately, the draw hasn't helped us here, so I'd want every bit of the price. Collett's still on. I think if it gets some cover, it can still be in the finish. Prince Tycoon was only beaten by the gate last time out. It's on an 8-day backup into a wet track. I think that's a dry track to wet track. Could help it, and Nash jumps on a horse that's going to go forward. So it's going to be the danger for me. Obviously, Gallinera was a nice resumption, as you pointed out as well. Next up, we've got the 3-year-olds. Group 3, Fred Best over 1,400 metres. And I'm going to go throw one out here at a price. Should it turn up, it's 50s at the moment. And that's Editing. It went back in that Basusto race where nothing really made ground. It wasn't until it levelled up well into the straight. I thought it was beautiful through the line once it got going. And I think 1,400 metres, it's worth thinking about again here, especially because of the price. So I'm going to spec it on top. I'm going to make Rakkonen coming up to Queensland the main danger. Beat up a shit field of old horses, I know, first up, but it's a better horse than that, and I don't think wet's going to be a problem. And your old mate, Angel Capital's first up for Waller. I don't know what Matt Laurie ever did wrong, but first up for Clinton McDonald actually was with. But it's now going to Chris Waller. Heavy, I wasn't sure first up. The trials were fine. I feel like you're going to have a better opinion of this one, so you may as well have at it.
Yeah, I've got it on top. This is a very good animal, this one. And I think it's going to be super hard to beat. Again, probably don't know if it gets too heavy, but hopefully that won't happen. But it's drawn beautifully here in gate 4. Only had the one start last prep and was way too good for him. The two other main dangers
I think
in
it
the
beat
market.
Evaporate. I know Evaporate should have won, but I think it beat Evaporate first up last time.
That's right.
Yeah.
So quality animal here, and now Waller's got it. Won't hurt its chances. Some of the others are drawn right off the track. Rakkonen I do like as well. It was my best bet when it won first up. So I wouldn't get off it. Probably if it was drawn better, probably be a little bit skinnier in the market. But I think it's got ability, and we all know Beyond can pop up anywhere and everywhere. So definitely the main danger for me.
The first of the features is the Group 1 BRC Sprint over 1,350 metres, 1,300 metres. Wait for age, etc., etc. $1 million race. Again, I am probably going to vomit when Jolly Star wins, but go ahead and tip it.
I am going to tip it because I do think it's going to win. Look, it's just the company that it's been running in, a second last start behind Jimmy's a Star, probably almost could have won that. Only a couple of lengths behind Briasa before that, and flew. I think it's down the straight at Flemington in a Group 1. This is a pretty good animal, this one. And I think this is gonna be set and cherry ripe for this race. I got it on top. I think Giga Kick's the only danger if there is one. So Jolly Star for me.
Two I'm going to mention. Private Eye has come. Its last 2 runs are very good. It's done as well as it could have since Nash has jumped on. The trials were good. And I think it was double figures. Wet won't be an issue, so I gave it some thought. And Komochi, every run before it put up lame when it finished last start. I think 2 or 3 of its 4 legs were lame. So for giving it, the trial since was ridden out, but was good. And I'm going to give that one more chance as well because I think it came back in good order and gets a sneaky inside gate Craig Williams ride. Very, very scared of Jolly Star, as Beaver suggested. We'll see where that market settles as to whether I do cover it. The next of the features is the Group 1 2,400 metre Queensland Derby. Statuario should have won the South Australian Derby. I have to cop John Allen again after last week, once he put the knife in once more from an inside gate. But I'm going to stick with it here. I think it's $5. What is it, $5? You can back it each way. I think we get our money back. It's on top from me. From a couple at a price coming from Adelaide form, I don't know what's gotten into me, but Chase Your Dreams is a big price and it's looked good out to a distance. And Party Crasher comes through some very average form lines, but it's got better and better up in distance. And I was just looking for something a bit fresh. The Waller, when we get the quaddie, the Waller runners obviously go in because they're scary. What are you doing here?
Yeah, they are, and I'm going with one, Belle, Detelle.
Yeah.
On top here. I'm going to stick with it. I think it had some excuses last start. Pace didn't suit, got out of its ground, got back in the field. I think sort of in the run it was back towards 14th to 15th, about 10th on the turn and finished off. Only to finish 3 lengths behind Imperialist. I think the extra distance will suit. It's got to contend with gate 20. I think if it was drawn in the 5 like the Statuario, it would be probably favourite here. So it's going to go back anyway. Comes in with a couple of scratchings. There might be a couple more. I think it's going to be super hard to beat, and I think it'll be there or thereabouts in the finish. You've mentioned the favourite. It's going to be hard to beat. It's going well. And I thought one down in the market as well, number 18, Chase Your Dreams. I think it can run well as well from the Hayes stable. They seem to know how to get them up and going for a race like this.
Full show. It does feel a bit like that flat run before a grand final from the Wally Yard Belle Detelle, so I am scared. Finish off with 1,200 metre listed race. How are you coming home?
Yeah, this is a tricky race to finish the day. There's some horses here that I don't mind, and I've backed in the past. I'm going to go for Comrade Rosa. It's a horse I've followed. I think third up now is ideal. Came from last at Rockhampton on the turn and flew home, only to just miss there over the 1,300. Comes back to 1,200 here, so hopefully there's a bit of pace on, but gate 5's perfect. I got it on top. Main danger, Floozy. Winning form's good form, and I've been backing it this time in, so I can't miss saving on it. That's the way I'm going. I'm just going to let Kin go because I've never been able to catch it.
Yeah, I had Kin on top, but the more I think about it, the more I think it's a 1,100 metre horse. So I'm a bit scared. So let's go with Tashi on top. It's going well enough. Ran well, was in a finish last time out. Maps across from gate 10. I think it can push forward, and there's a heap of early pace. So it's on top. I thought Terramata was not Terramata. Yeah, Terramata was a big price. Nash's pet horse there. It's trialled as well as it usually does. And Floozy is now a winner up in Queensland, so it has to be a live chance again in a tricky race. The quaddie on Derby Day. Let's go first leg as I pull up this. We'll go numbers 2, Angel Capital, 3, Just Party, 4, Media World, 5, Pisces, just for my insanity, but you can leave it out if you really want. 10, Reckoning, and 18, Editing. Second leg, 1, Giga Kick, 2, Private Eye, 10, Jolie Star, 11, Kimochi. Third leg, 3, Statuario, 13, Party Crasher, 17, Belle, Detelle, 18, Chase Your Dreams, and we'll come home with 3, Terramata, 7, Kin, 8, Floozy, and 10, Tashi. I might even throw Curvolante in there instead of Kin. I'll see how I'm feeling about 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Your best in value, Beaver?
Yes, my best bet comes up in race 6, number 2, Angel Capital. And my value bet comes up in race 5, number 13, Best.
My best, that's a great question. Let's go in the... let's go Statuario. What's that? Race 8, number 3. Value, race 6, number 18, Editing. And for showusyourtips.net, we can find the written version. This Beaver's busily getting that into the system now. We're going to go to Caulfield down in Melbourne, where the rail is in an 8 metre position. It's going to be a good track, which is a nice change to what's happening up north. And I suggest you don't want to be too far away from the speed. We kick off with a 1,200 metre 2-year-old race. Don't have a great deal of confidence in this one. Has anything caught your eye before I make a case?
No, I didn't have a hell of a lot of confidence either in this race. So I went for the first starter, the Real Man from the McAvoy stable. Trialled okay. Won't have to be a world beater to win this, and I thought around the 550 could run well.
Yeah, I looked at it, and the other one that's come back from a bit of a break in Imzada, I think it's trialled well as well down the bottom. They're the 2 sort of fresh horses on the scene. The ones that interested me. Millennium Blade has that Prince Tycoon form and is up and going. The second is a benchmark 78 for the girls here, and I thought I'd end up going away from the Moonee Valley lead-up race, which is feeding this, and went looking to elsewhere and found Sparkling, who's had third up now of 2 runs in Sydney. If it finds some cover, it's going to run really well. That was a very nice tick over last start. It's going. Put it on top around, we're getting each way price with it, and Star Sirius keeps winning, and it's $10. It was a nice win last time out against a hyped-up horse. I'll keep that in my thoughts as well. What have you found?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the 6 Splash Pack, resuming here from the Beg stable. Stable's flying at the moment. These types of horses, they have up and running quickly. Won first up last time, and then wasn't disgraced when it finished 8th in a Group 3 behind Fancify, and then put out for a spell. So it's brought back here after a bit of a layoff, I think, since November, and has trialled okay for this. I think it can run really well. I had Sparkling as the main danger. You put a good case in for it, and I tend to agree. So that's the way I was looking here.
Beauty. The third is a 1,200 metre race for the 3-year-olds. Who have you found?
Yeah, pretty keen on one here, and that's the top weight here, Big Swinger. I think it's going to be super hard to beat. Was, again, very good first up at Pakenham, and then they stepped it straight up into a Group 2 coming up to Sydney.
They smashed it in that race, and you couldn't make ground that day.
Yeah, it was well backed. Only finished just over a length off them, and you couldn't, as you said, you couldn't make ground. That was impressive. Goes back to Melbourne here, drawn gate 2. This is not the most difficult race. Pretty keen it will be hard to beat.
Best of the day, nothing more to add. The only concern for me is the lightly raced one. No Fooling down the bottom, who has put in 2 very good runs, including an all-time great Terry Bailey early crow on debut there. But all the best to TB. He's apparently out of a job now, so you're welcome here, mate, to jump on the show. The pay's shit, but I'll buy you a beer.
That's more than I get.
Yeah. Beaver more to the point, Beaver will buy you a beer. And,
that sounds about right.
All the best for TB. I'm a fan. Anyway, that's it. Yeah, best of the day, big swinger. 1,400 metres, benchmark 70 is up next. My best of the day last week was Extreme Virtue. Didn't get to the track. I think it maps really well here. It's $5. I'm not going to make it a best here, but I think it's an absolute live chance. And I like the $5. Stylish Main Danger and Sounded Out will run well. It just already looks like a typical Waller horse, but is lightly raced and may still improve. The other 3 main I had in my thoughts. What have you done?
Yeah, I like Extreme Virtue as well. I think it's going to be super hard to beat here. I think it's around the $5 mark. It's pretty good value. Gets a 3 kilo claim here, which I think won't hurt. Nice draw in 6. Definitely the hardest to beat. It's my on topper as well.
The 5th is a mile benchmark 78, and this is I think there's a nice string of 3 horses we can put together through these 3 races, because the lightly raced Madiyya may have map issues, but these are a bunch of nerds. It'll win. The 2 up front that has to get past are the 2 I'd be worried about. That's Only Wish and Steadfast. But it did a good job last time. It was probably a stronger race. So I think it's onwards and upwards for it. Anything to add?
As you said, it'll win. Madiyya for me, a good horse. Got it last start, and I'm going to get it again.
Beauty. We've got the mile up next, benchmark 100, where they've found every washed-up horse in Melbourne and dragged them out to the racetrack. All of our mates here, we've been tipping some of these horses for 6 years.
And you're going to tip one? I'm
going to tip Verdad. I'm not tipping Jimmy.
Oh, my God.
We probably tipped Jimmy on the first show we ever did, the more I think about this. But Verdad at least has won 2 of its last 3. I haven't yet stamped a winner, but least convictions, it goes on top from Jimmy the Bear, who will run well. And Lim Soltoro did sit outside lead first up and was late to my thoughts, but might run well again. What have you done?
No thanks to Verdad. I just can't.
That's okay. I understand.
I'm going to go Jimmy.
You tipped Comrade Rosa 556 days, but not for Dad.
That's all right. Thanks for that. Nostalgic reasons, mate. Jimmy the Bear for me. Gonna have it on.
How old is it? 12.
I think it was pretty good first up.
It was good.
Jimmy the Bear. I think if it reproduces that behind War Machine, handy horse by the way. Could be winning the Stradbroke pretty soon. So if Jimmy the Bear reproduces that, it'll take care of these.
Yeah, you've been keen on War Machine all the way through, and it stamped itself definitely as a Stradbroke chance. Race 7, 2,000 metres, benchmark 84. And look, there's not much future to be had if you're trying to bet too heavy into these sort of races. Has anything caught your eye, though?
I agree with you. Nothing really has caught my eye, except I'm going to tip the one, Bold Soul on top. It's the top weight, gets a claim, 3rd up, comes from a decent stable, up now to the 2,000. Those 2 runs were okay. That's what I've got on top.
Except for the massive starting price last time out, Wonder Kid sort of over-raced and did a good job leading. So for the sake of a tip, it's on top. I hope we're winning by this stage of the game and I can sit and enjoy one of Beaver's beers. The 8th is the 1,100 metre Listed Bel Esprit. This is a good race, and there's some lightly raced horses that are actually going to, I think, make a race of this. I have put the favourite on top, Niance, who did some very good things last time out. The trials are beautiful. And as you said, fresh up for the Beg stable is always good. So it's on top. Quite a few ticks coming to this. I think recommendation maps perfectly. Make it the danger. But Cleo Cat is a ripper as well, and Fickle's a big price for your quaddies. There's some, like I said, some lightly raced horses that are going to show up here. I've got a feeling. So looking forward to it. Who are you finding?
Yeah, good summation there, Daggy. I got the favourite on top here from the Beg stable as well, number 7, Neons. Looks to be a pretty good horse in the making. But as you said, there's some horses here with some potential and some that have shown some ability as well in Cleo Cat, Recommendation, and even a horse like Midwest. I think it can run well as well. But I think the other one just might be something a little bit more out of the box.
And we're going to come home with a 1,200 metre benchmark 84. What are you doing in another very interesting race, actually?
Yeah, another very interesting race with plenty of chances here. I'm going number 5, Prancing Spirit. Thought that was, it's been ultra consistent. Last 3 runs, second, first, broke through last start. I think it's going to be hard to beat again. I think it maps and sets up well for it here. Gets a good draw and gets 3 kilo claim, so gets in at the 55.5. I've got it on top and hardest to beat.
Yeah, same. Not much to add. Here Comes a Star is a danger, and I think the most interesting horse here is Cafe Millennium, who's now gone down to the Hayes boys, and the trials were quite nice. If it's around 20s, I'm going to back it because it's 1 point. In a previous life, it looked like it was going to be a very good horse. So very interested to see what Team Hayes can do with it. But for the record, I am going Prancing Spirit along with the Beaver. What's a quaddie look like on quite a nice-looking Caulfield card if the track all plays to standard?
Yeah, tricky few races to find something here, but let's see how we go here, Daggy. In the first leg, race 6, I'm going number 1, Oscar's Fortune, number 2, Regal Zeus, number 3, Jimmy the Bear, number 4, Limbs Soltaro. Sticking to the top there. In the second leg, I'm going number 1, Bold Soul, number 4, Wonder Kid, number 6, Dublin Journal, and number 12, Mazan. In the third leg, I'm going number 1, Recommendation, number 3, Midwest, number 7, Neons, and number 10, Cleo Cat. And then to come home in the last, I am going number 1, Cafe Millennium, number 5, Prancing Spirit, number 7, Miss Icelandic, number 8, Moby Dick, and number 13, Here Comes the Star.
Beauty. Your best and value?
My best bet comes up in race 5, number 2, Madiyya, and my value is race 7, number 1, Bold Soul.
My best, race 3, number 1, Big Swinger, but I'm also keen on Extreme Virtue, and I think Madiyya as well. I might look at tying those 3 together. Race 2, number 8, Star Sirius is my value. I've got an eye on what happens with Cafe Millennium as well. Do you have a look at Randwick?
I had a quick look at Randwick, not Rose Hill.
Rose Hill we're at, sorry, you're right.
Which won't get sold.
No, it will not.
It will live to fight another day. I thought race 4, number 6, Maori Chief. I thought it could run well. I thought race 5, number 6, Don't Forget Jack. I think it's going to be hard to beat. And then later in the day, in the last race 10, number 9, Left Field, nearly double-figure odds, can run well.
Love it. A couple that are going to suck me in again because I can't help myself. Race 7, number 10, Quaddie. I think it's a good horse. Just would like it to be a winning good horse. And race 9, Kind Words, did well ducking out the inside last time out. I'm going to give it one more chance, but I am a sucker for punishment. That's been Show Us Your Tips. We will do it all again next week. Good punning tomorrow, guys. And I'll see you tomorrow too, Beaver.
That you will.
Take it easy, guys. Talk soon.
Ciao.